You know those days when your brain just feels unpredictable? Some days you are absolutely on fire. You're sharp, you're witty, ideas are just flowing. And then there are the other days, right? You're just wading through this mental fog, struggling to keep up. We have all been there.
It's like mental whiplash, isn't it? One minute you feel like a genius, the next you're not even sure what you had for breakfast. It's a totally universal feeling. But here's a thought. What if it didn't have to be that way? What if you could actually have more of those brilliant days and way fewer of the foggy ones?
Well, according to Dr. Therese Houston, the author of Sharp, we don't have to just be at the mercy of our brain's weird whims. So in this explainer, we're going to dive into her research and pull out 3 super powerful, science-backed shortcuts that you can use to start building a better brain, like today.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the biggest brain drainer in our modern world, the focus trap. I mean, we are constantly being pulled in a million different directions, and we trick ourselves into thinking we can actually handle it all at once.
So here's the thing about multitasking. It's basically a myth. Your brain cannot do 2 complicated things at the same time. It just can't. What you're really doing is something called task switching, just bouncing back and forth really, really fast. And neuroscientists have found that this constant switching comes at a massive, massive cost to how well you perform.
Get this. When you try to juggle your main job with something else, say a quick check of your email, the brain activity for that main task plummets by a whopping 37%. That means your brain has literally a third less power to focus on what's actually important.
And you know, that drop in brain power leads directly to this, a 47% spike in mistakes. Just think about that for a second. You're not just slower when you task switch, the quality of your work absolutely nosedives. It's like going from making 5 mistakes to making almost 9. It's a huge disadvantage.
So if multitasking is a bust, what's the solution? Well, the book offers a few strategies, but honestly, one of the simplest and most surprising ones involves a tiny switch in a daily routine that like 85% of us already have, our caffeine habit.
This is so fascinating. So both coffee and tea have caffeine to make you feel alert. We all know that. But tea has this other secret weapon, a unique amino acid called L-theanine. And researchers found that this combo delivers this incredible 1-2 punch. The caffeine wakes you up, sure, but the L-theanines gives you this calm, sustained focus that helps you actually resist distractions. So you're not just alert, you're alert and you're locked in.
Okay, let's pivot to our next big challenge, creative block. You know the feeling. You're staring at a blank page, the pressure's on, and your mind is just empty. So how do you get that flash of insight right when you need it the most?
Believe it or not, the answer might just be that show you binged last weekend. No, I'm serious. Researchers at Stanford and Harvard actually found this bizarrely effective technique for jump-starting your creative engine, and it uses exactly that.
Here's how it works. You grab a piece of paper, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just start writing down every single specific detail you can remember from a show you watched recently. Like, what was the main character wearing? What did their office look like? What exactly happened in that one crazy scene? The more specific you can be, the better.
I know, it sounds nuts, but why on earth does this work? Well, it's because you're tapping into your episodic memory. When you recall all these detailed, story-like memories, you're firing up 2 key parts of your brain, the hippocampus and the executive control network. And here's the kicker, those are the exact same brain areas you need for creative thinking. You're basically priming the pump, warming up the neural machinery you need to come up with new ideas.
All right, finally, let's talk about those really high-stakes moments. You know, a big presentation, a difficult conversation, maybe a performance review. Your heart starts pounding, your palms get all sweaty. How do you stop that physical stress response from totally sabotaging you?
The secret is this little mental reframe called stress reappraisal. So instead of thinking your body's stress signals are a sign of failure, a threat, you can choose to see them as a sign that your body is gearing up to help you win. That racing heart, that's just sending more oxygen to your brain. Those sweaty palms, that's your body getting ready for action. It's not a threat, it's a challenge, and you are rising to meet it.
Neuroscientist Lisa Feldman Barrett puts this idea perfectly. The point isn't to get rid of those nervous butterflies. You can't, and you probably wouldn't want to. That energy is useful. The goal is just to channel it, to get all those butterflies flying in formation, working for you, not against you.
The big idea running through all of these shortcuts is just so empowering. Your brain isn't fixed, it's not set in stone. With the right strategies, you can actively shape it to be more focused, more creative, and more resilient. You can literally build yourself a better brain. So let's recap your new toolkit for being sharper. When you need that deep focus, try swapping your coffee for tea to get that calm alertness. When you need a creative spark, prime your brain by remembering the details of a show. And in those high-stakes moments, reframe your stress as a challenge that your body is rising to meet.
These are such small, simple changes, all grounded in real neuroscience, and they can make the hard days easier and the good days absolutely amazing. The only question left is, which one are you going to try first?